What's up, everybody? This is Jason from Straight Edge Knives. Hey, I got a video coming at you today on this fine Friday, if you will. Man, I think maybe I'm picking up a little too much on my mic. No, I think I'm good. Anyway, sorry. I could see stuff with my camera going on, and sometimes I'm like, oh, is that right? I don't know. Anyway, hey guys, what we're coming at you with today is part of the Mountain Mettle Series from the Survival University. If you guys didn't see my unboxing video of all three blades, go check that out. But basically, Survival University over there, Jason, over there, great guy. Met him at SHOT Show. I have a whole video with him and Ruben, talking about these blades, their design features and things like that. Go check that video out. A lot of great info. But basically, they sent me these knives to check out. I fell in love with them when I was at SHOT Show. I was like, damn, these blades are awesome. And they were nice enough to send them to me. But I am going to be honest about my review on these. If I feel like there's something wrong with them, I'll tell you for sure. It's nothing I wouldn't tell them either, because I feel like we're becoming good friends now. We can talk about things. But I'm pretty damn impressed with these. They're really cool, very comfortable. But this is the first one in the series. This is the smallest knife. This is the Spirit from Survival University. Now, these are all made by Condor Knife and Tool, but they're sold exclusively through the Survival University. And in the description below, I will have a link that will take you directly to the page for buying these. Okay, so if you're interested in picking these up, you can pick them up as a set or individually. Anyway, let's get into it, guys. So first off, what we're going to go over, let's get the knife out, because that's what you guys really want to see, right? So check that out. This is the Spirit, the smallest one in the series. Very cool blade. And while I'm showing this to you guys, let's go ahead and go over the specs on it. The blade length is 4.75 inches. The blade thickness is 0.12. Overall length is 10 inches. It's 1095 high carbon steel with a stone washed finish. It has green and gray micarta. It's kind of more like black and gray to me, but I don't know, I guess it just depends on what your color spectrum is, I guess. The weight on this is 7.1 ounces, which is very light. It's Kydex. It's a black Kydex sheath that's ambidextrous with two expandable ferro rod holders that'll accommodate a ferro rod from a 3/8 up to a 1/2 inch in diameter. So you can see here. It's a very, very versatile sheath because it is Kydex, but one of the really cool things is you could take all of this off and switch it around, or you could take it all off and set it up however you want. There's multiple holes here. There's some strap holes here. But one of the things, like, you can undo this right here, and let's say you have like some sort of a pouch with some molly webbing on the back. You can attach a small pouch onto here to carry a fire tin or something like that. You can run this through some molly looping. It has a beta loop strap right here, so you can pop that and you can scout carry it if you'd like. And these are your expandable ferro rod holders. You can see they kind of, hopefully my fingers aren't in the way. I'm trying to open this up so you can see that kind of opens up. And I do have my ferro rod out here today, and this was actually sent to me by a subscriber, which, very cool fire still. This is a Uber Lieben. Man, this thing can throw some mean sparks too, and we're going to show you guys this can throw the sparks as well. But you could easily, so this is, I think this is 3/8, so I can kind of shove this down in there, open that up a little bit. There we go. Bam. Let's check that out. Definitely holds that fire still. You can see that. Holds it very well. It's in there securely. It's not going to come out. So it's very secure. And then I can just slide it right out. Start my fire. Survive the night, if you will. But yeah, it's a very cool setup the way they did this. Like I said, giving you multiple attachments. And that's one of the things when I was talking to them, they really wanted this to be user adaptable friendly, if you will. They wanted it to be completely set it up to what's going to suit you best, because what may be best for Jason or Ruben or even me might not be best for you and how you carry this or what you attach to it, or even what you maybe don't want on it. So it's a very, very, very cool thing. It does have, for some extra retention, you do have a button snap here. Now this is stitched onto here, but what I did notice is if you don't like using that, it does have Velcro on both sides of it, here and here. So you can actually fold this over, snap it onto itself. It's going to be Velcroed, and then you could carry your knife, you know, however you want, and it's not going to really be in the way. Or if you really don't like it on there at all, you can just cut it off. But that's up to you. User preference, right? That's what they, like I said, that's what they set this up for. But let's get into the testing. Oh, this Kydex is very nice. It clicks in there, holds the knife very well. Just the tiniest little bit of rattle in this one. Not very much, but very nicely done. Oh, you even have holes where you can neck carry this if you wanted to. Got a nice thumb wrap on here as well, so you can pop your knife out and get to work. So let's set that off to the side. So here it is again, guys. Very, very nicely done. You do have a pretty much a 90. Well, I want to say it's a 90. It's pretty much a 90 up on the spine, a little bit rounded off, it feels like. But can you throw sparks with it still? I think you can. Let's see. Yeah, you can still throw some sparks with it if you needed to. They do have on the end here, if you can see that, that's like a little skull cracker, nut cracker, or something like that if you want to. You could also throw the sparks to this as well. I think you can. Let's try to do this without cutting myself. I know you can do it, I just have to figure out the angle. There we go. So you can do it there as well. Although I think I prefer using the back of the blade. It's just because you got more real estate, you can really throw those sparks out like that. I like doing that. This thing is so much fun. This is a really good fire starter, guys. I really like it. It throws some really good sparks. You know, and we might even start a little fire here with us today. We'll see. We'll see. It depends on how good you guys are. Behave yourselves, okay? But out of the box, it has a pretty nice edge. I mean, it's a nice edge. I like it. It's sharp. It's going to take the hair off my hand there. So let's get into some testing here. Right here we have the, this is that fire hose, right? It's 3 layers. You got this layer of canvas, this layer of canvas, and there's rubber glued inside. This is one that I've cut in half. So what we're going to do is I'm going to lay this flat here on the stumper. And we're going to stab into it. Testing not only that tip, but you know, the piercing penetration power of this bad boy. Right into the stump, no problem. Sorry, this piece keeps wanting to fold over on itself. But you can see the tip of the knife right there. So what we're going to do, popped out on me. Let's go ahead and re-stab that again. We're going to cut all the way down through this. Problem is this darn piece keeps folding on me. It's so used to being flat. The hose is not participating with me today, everybody. It's being difficult. There we go. I mean, that ripped right through that, no problem. Let's just leave that in there. Let's take this piece, we're going to pull this piece through. Bam, no problem. So you can cut through this fire hose if we needed to. Pull that out. Cutting it up, no, not an issue. Let's check that tip. That tip is still needle point. Yep. No damage to the tip at all, if you can see there. So that's, there you go, good to go. This here is I'm having a brain fart today, guys. This is a air compressor hose rated at 3,000 psi. It's kind of like a hard rubber. It's got a kind of reinforced nylon in there, if you will. This stuff is definitely a pain in the ass to cut. We come in here, do a little press cut, bam, cut it, no problem. Got this piece here, we're gonna come down and do a press cut down, split it for whatever reason you needed to. Make a little ant water trough, can do that as well. So cutting through that, not a problem. Got the old poly rope here. So if you guys had to come in, you're setting up your shelter, making tent, you had to cut, you know, straps off or something, I don't know, whatever you need to do, and this is the type of rope you got, you know, bam, cut through it, no problem. Let's say you had to do like a quick little cut. Let's try to do a little whip chop here. So it's nice with this handle is you can kind of choke back on it a little bit. It's got this nice little swoop right here. You can see that, nice palm swell. So you can actually kind of get up in here like this. So you can come here, bam, do your nice little whip chop, whip it good, do. Whip it good. I'm showing my age now. You guys know that song. You got to whip it. Don't want to get no copyright infringement, but definitely easily come in here and cut this rope. Not a problem. So I went and got me some more of this rope, which I really like, because it makes a good fire starter. I figured out this is like 3/4 inch sisu rope. That's what this stuff's called. For the life of me, I did not know what it was called. I thought it was some sort of cotton. It's called sisu rope. It's used for, I don't know, all sorts of stuff. But if you had to come in here, this stuff's really thick, pretty abrasive, because it's kind of gritty. So, but if you had to come in here and cut a piece of this off, bam, sliced right through that. Got that stuff right there. If you had to come in here, this stuff, because this knife's so light, I don't know if a whip chop's going to really get all the way through this, but we're going to give it a whip chop test anyway. Choke back on it and come in here. Bam. Didn't get all the way through it, but look, it got darn near a pretty good ways through that. So let's go ahead and cut that off so we have a nice clean end here. Bam. So if you had to whip chop that, you might have to take a couple of chops. But what I did want to do here, since we have the sisu rope available, set that to the side. We're going to save that. So I don't know if you guys seen my other video, but this stuff actually makes a really good fire starter. So if you come in here and you kind of break this stuff up, kind of smash it around between your fingers, it makes this really fine. See that there? It makes this really fine stuff. You could sit here and tear it apart, just kind of wiggle it between your fingers, not a problem. And I think when you get into the inner core part, they put maybe some type of a light adhesive or something in there. I'm not sure what, but it kind of helps hold it together a little bit. So I think between the fineness of these strands and that kind of glue or resin that they put in here, it really makes it nice for catching on fire. So we're going to go ahead and take our Uber-leaving fire starter here. Now I'm going to shoot. Okay, I'm not that good at this. There we go. There it goes. Oh, thought it was gonna. There we go. Bam. Doesn't take much to get this stuff going, really. As you can see there, nice fire. And this burns long enough to where it gives you a good enough amount of time to put some extra stuff on there to help get your fire going, your kindling and whatnot, you know, if you had some paper and stuff. But there you go. You can easily throw your spark, start your fire. Let's go ahead and smother that out with a paper catalog. But look, I put it out. No fire. No smoke, no fire. So there you go. So, and look, I mean, even after I put it out, there's still enough here where I could start another fire with it if I needed to. But go ahead and put that down there in the dirt. Not a problem. Stamp on it, make sure it's out. Don't want to catch my backyard on fire. But now, jumping into this book, this catalog that we used to put the fire out. This is, my good old stab test here. Now, with this choil over the back of the top, does it affect you putting your thumb over the top? I don't think it does. It's right there. I don't feel like it, it's hurting or anything like that. So you could easily put your thumb over the top to give you that extra power. Whoops, I took my thumb off. Bam. Now, when I did do that, I took my thumb, put my thumb on it. It did dig into my thumb just a little bit right here. So depending on, I guess, on how hard you're trying to stab, you may or may not want to put your thumb over the top. But there's enough of a finger well here that when you come in, your hand's staying in place so you don't slip down and accidentally, cut yourself. But as far as the stabbing goes, it did not go all the way through the catalog. It's probably, let's see here. So it went about halfway through because the tip's kind of right here, kind of bounced out a little bit. Let's try that again though. Let's give it another old stab. So there you go. There's the tip right there. So it went about 3/4 of the way through the catalog. Not a problem. Let's do a little Let's see if we can make a little bit of confetti here with a little whip chop here. Oh, if I hit the thing. Ooh, confetti. I like that. Nice clean cut. Although I missed it the first time. But that's okay, because you know what? We hit the log, test the edge, right? Give it a nice edge test. This thing's still sharp, guys. Not a problem. So we got little black marks on here from striking the fire rod, but that's not a big deal. It wipes right off. Tip is still good. Tip is still straight. There we go. So we're rocking and rolling here, guys. So if you have a leather belt, I use a leather belt necessarily just for a tutting. It's a different medium to cut. But yeah, I don't know, one day you might need to cut a leather belt or cut some leather or something like that, you know. But bam, there you go. You can come in here easily, do a press cut, slice off chunks of the leather if you need to. It's not going to be an issue. Leather is actually, I don't know, not that necessarily hard to cut, but it's just something different to cut, you know. So let's get into the wood part, guys. I mean, this is, you know, these knives are designed to be used out in survival situations, and the bush and the, you know, wherever it is you're at, the jungle, desert, you know, you might need it for whatever. Let's get in here and let's do a stab test here on this. This is a piece of wood off of a pallet. I can't even talk today. Bam, come in here, do a nice little stab. Not a problem, as you see. Nice penetration there. Wiggle it out. Let's check this tip. Still straight, not a problem. Bam, tip is still rocking and rolling, good to go. You can see that there. Not a problem. Nice deep stabs into the wood there. So come in here. Let's say you had to start your little fire hole bow drill hole, right? So we're gonna come in right here. So I reached out to Jason and I was like, hey man, how are you supposed to do this? And from what the video he sent me that he did, which was a pretty cool video, you kind of come in here and you start doing this. You stick it in here and you roll it around, get your hole kind of going. Now this is also doing here when I'm doing this, guys, is we're testing the tip and the edge, because you know you're torquing on it, right? So you're putting a lot of torquing power onto the edge here and as well as the tip. Is it straight? Yes it is. Is it sharp? Yes it is. So you would keep making your hole there, but you can see that. I guess depending on the size of your stick that you need, you might have to widen it out a little bit. So this is the hole right here where my finger is. And then I think what you'd want to do is, now he said typically you wouldn't want to use a wood dowel. You'd want to find something. If I dropped the knife on my foot, no, it didn't hit my foot, but rolled off the edge there. Knife safety, guys, be careful. Don't be like me. Dropped it. But essentially what you want to do is take a stick and kind of round off the top of it and then be able to put it here and then do your whole bow drill. I'm going to try to do a whole video of me doing a bow drill fire, but we're not doing that today because that would take me forever, and we're going to save that for the individual. But anyway, you'd start making your hole, you'd make your V-notch there, make your bow drill fire. Yeah, you can do that, no problem. Let's say you had to come in and you need to make some shavings. Very comfortable. That's one thing I really like about this series of knives that they did, is the handle between this one and the next bigger one are essentially, they're not the same size, but they're the same contour, they have the same different contouring and scalloping on them. So if you pick this one up and that one up, either way, you're going to know what you're picking up and doing, essentially. But this, come in here, makes real nice fire curls, fire shavings, if you will. Nice thin ones. This probably isn't the best log piece of wood to do this with, but yeah, come in here, make your fire curls. Let's take the old wood dowel here and do that. Actually, let's take this wood dowel. Let's say you had to make a tent spike or tent stake, right? So you can come in here, you can just kind of shave off your pieces. You can see those pieces flying off there. Not a problem. just honking it off. Honka, what? Bam, bam. So you can come down here. But let's say you had to speed it up a little bit. You could choke back on this and do those light chops. Then once you kind of get it down a little bit, to almost where you need it, you can come in, finish it off, make it a nice round sharp spear tip, if you will. Now you got your tent stake. You can come in here, hammer that in, kill that vampire badger, if you will. Whatever's coming in, you know, you got the chupacabra coming at you, got him, right? You could also notch this out to tie a paracord around it, you know, so you have a nice secure stake. So a lot of different things you can do. But if you had to come in here and make nice feather curls, has a very nice, like I said, you kind of rest your thumb on the back here. Come in here and make some really nice little curls. Not a problem. Now, if you had to come in here, let's say, well, shit, I don't need that for, you know, the vampire badger steak anymore. I need this to be a fresh, clean stick. We're going to go ahead and put this right here, and we're going to do a little wacky. Bam. Not a problem. Cut it off. Cut that off nice and clean. Nothing wrong with the blade. No damage. It's still sharp. Still ready to rock and roll. So there you go. You can make your steak, do whatever you need to do. Set that off to the side. Now, you may get into a situation where you have to do some light batoning. Now, this isn't the batoner of the group by any means, but we are going to do some light batoning with it on this seasoned almond wood. Now, always remember, if you have an axe or something like that, definitely use that, okay? Caveat here, you shouldn't be batoning with a knife like this size all the time. It should only be in a, you know, bad situation, I feel. But if you had to do it, you know, I want to be able to show that you can do it. Now, you have to think about how wide your knife is and where you're going to be able to get that blade and also have space to hit, right? So you're not going to be, you know, batoning through a giant log. You're going to be, you know, something maybe like this. And even in this, you're going to be doing the kind of the corners here where it's a lot thinner, right? So you're going to be doing this. You're going to be doing it to try to get to maybe the dry wood inside, or have some to help get you some kindling going, something like that. So we're going to set this up right here. We're going to come right here on the corner, and we're going to go right down. This puts a lot of pressure on that tip as well, guys. So this is a good test for that as well. Part of my goal of doing these videos is to show you guys how well these knives can hold up as well. So now what I ran into is there's a knot right here. So I need to give me a little, wiggle this in there a little bit more. Give me some more area to hit. There we go. Knife is still straight, no problems. Right there, you can see that knot that I had to pound it through right there. But there it is. I was able to get through that. You know, could I keep doing that? Wiggle this down to a bunch of sticks like this? I sure could. But now I have stuff that I can come in here and make some more, you know, finer fire sticks with. Now that I'm down to that drier wood, this stuff might have been wet. You know, you can get into the heart of that wood that's nice and dried out. Come in here, make some shavings, fling them off, and then you have to go find them. It's better if you kind of come in here and do it like this. So you can come in there, split you off your pieces of wood like that. Where'd they go? You know, these little pieces like this. So you can easily do that, no problem as well. So can you do some batoning with this bad boy? Yeah, you can. I would not, again, suggest doing a lot of heavy batoning. Definitely keep it to smaller pieces because, you know, this is the thinner of the knives. You know, if you can see, there's a little bit of flex in it, you know. So you definitely don't want to be trying to hammer through big, giant, heavy pieces because you might run the risk of bending the blade. you'd have to be pretty hard pressed to break it, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. So definitely be careful batoning with a thinner stock blade. Now when we get to the next blade, it's definitely thicker. It'll be able to handle a lot more of the bigger stuff. And then when you get to the gallantry, which is the big boy, you should definitely be able to handle some bigger stuff. So keep that in mind. Use the right tool for the right purpose, so to speak, if you will. So I know I ranted on there a little bit. What was I going to do? Oh, here's another kind of little, this is a square wood dowel, hardwood dowel, but it's kind of, wanted to show some more that feather sticking. So it's nice, and you get these pieces like this, you set them off to the side, use your rope, you start your rope, and then you put this stuff on there. Look at that. You're gonna have a raging fire in no time. So there you go. So guys, this is a great, for out of the series of blades, for the small one, man, this is a very capable blade. This would be a blade that you could easily carry all day long in your belt. It's so light. You know, you got the little attitude adjuster here. If you had to crack open a coconut, you could strike a fire off the back. I mean, you could do some light wood, wood processing. You can do some light wood processing as far as batoning goes. But as far as making feather sticks and things like that, you're going to be able to do that all day long. It's going to be not a problem. Very sharp blade. It's got this nice, you know, 4.75 inch blade. So you can actually do quite a bit with that. If you had to come in and do some, you know, skinning, it's got a slight belly to it. If you guys can see, it's like kind of slightly comes back up here, but it maintains almost a straight spine. There's a little bit of a dip in here, but that's not, you know, I think that they explain why it is like that. I can't remember what they said. But I mean, you could come in here and do some skinning if you need to. You have these cutouts here on both sides, not cutouts, but notches. So if you had to kind of pinch grip it right here, you can come in here and try to get in there and do that real fine work. You can even come up here, grab up on the back, just to be, you know, work it however you need to. I've never really skinned an animal, so it's kind of, I'm not sure what the grip positions are, but that feels pretty good. But man, in the reverse grip, this thing feels awesome. You know, front grip, it's not, everything's nicely rounded. One of the other things, if you can see right here on the back, it's ground down here and here, so it doesn't give you like a rounded hot spot right there, which is really nice. And when you grab over the top where my ring finger is right here, it kind of actually nestles right on that, so it makes it feel really good and gives you a nice solid purchase. Great blade. I really like it. I like the weight of it. I like the versatility of the sheath, so you can kind of set it up however you want. But I mean, if you had to come in and use this for some, you know, cool John Wicky type stuff, you know, if you had to use it for that, it could do that as well. Always got to be careful what you say here, guys, because it's YouTube. But you know, if you had to use it for something of that nature, you could use it for something of that nature. I hope you never have to. But all in all, guys, they did a really good job with this knife. It's really nicely rounded. It's got this nice rustic look to it, which Condor always has. They always have this kind of, I don't want to say an unfinished look, because the knives are finished, but it's like a finished, unfinished look, if you will. Rustic. I like it. That's one of the things I kind of always dug about Condor with the way they do their blades. But overall, guys, very well made. Oh, it's got a nice lanyard hole as well. And they did chamfer the hole, so there's no sharp edges. So if you got a lanyard in there, you don't have to worry about it getting cut. We can see that. Nice chamfered hole. So nice, you know, generous hole too, so you can run a decent sized piece of paracord through there. But guys, overall, the Spirit, definitely worth getting. And if the Courage and the Gallantry perform as well as this, I would say get the whole damn set, because you'd have a really good camp set. But guys, there it is, the Spirit. Available exclusively at the Survival University's website. The link will be down below. It's made by Condor Knife and Tool, and I really like it. Jason, you guys did a good job on this. Greatly appreciate it. I'm definitely going to be looking forward to getting this out, camping and things like that as well. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Stay sharp. Have a great weekend.